Welcome to our latest episode of VidTao Podcast. Today we have our special guest, Peter Kell. This is Ian Nagy, co-founder of VidTao, and Peter is arguably the most innovative video sales letter writer, marketer today. He's done amazing stuff growing his brand in the skincare space to tens of millions of dollars in yearly revenue from scratch in under a year, and had a pretty amazing exit from that company, which he'll get into on this, how we went into that market, how we scaled it, and all that. And now Peter is working his magic for MindValley. And just look at this. So look at this ad here. So go into VidTao, search for MindValley, and just find the highest views in the past 30 days. And you can see this ad is scaling like crazy. And watch it. Just watch this ad. It's amazing. The story behind it, super compelling. People are finding the ad link to this ad and writing comments saying how amazing it is, how inspiring it is. And, you know, they're getting value from just watching it. And clearly, MindValley is driving a ton of sales. They continue to spend money on this ad. So without further ado, let's see how he does it. Let's welcome Peter Kell to the podcast. Peter.
Yo.
How are you doing?
What's up, Ian?
Not too much.
I'm doing great, man.
Where are you in the world?
I'm in the Dominican Republic today.
Damn, dude. You are living the global jet set lifestyle. Yeah.
It's hardcore. Yeah, the setup is ridiculous now that I don't know what the universe threw at me, but it's absolutely insane. Yeah, I feel super, blessed to be going through this phase of this chapter of my life right now. It's crazy.
Are you cool if you just roll the tape, so to speak, from the get-go?
Hit it.
All right, cool. Yeah. We'll just yeah, man. I mean, I know I think you were posting on social media, you were in India doing reenactments of Indiana Jones for a little bit there. In Jordan. How was that?
Oh, it's another insane event, monster type 2 diabetes VSL coming out. And then I happened to be with all these MindValley authors on this trip through Jordan. And then we were shooting all these amazing leads, like Indiana Jones style. We had some on camels. We found this magic lamp. You don't need a lamp, the magic lamp to reverse your type 2 diabetes. So much amazing lead content. Yeah. To hook people in on Facebook and YouTube.
That's wild. And then, I mean, it seems like you're just flying around the world shooting VSLs now. Like you go on site and you get the expert on camera and shoot the VSL versus how is it getting started? The initial formats, how did that shift happen, and why are you kind of leaning into this style currently?
Yeah. So, I'll go through the story. A year ago when I sold my business, the skincare brand, I was like, fuck living in a certain place. I'm just going to go. I sold my cars, put everything into a storage unit, and just started living out of a suitcase. And then 7 months ago, I met Vishen, the owner of MindValley, and then we became friends, hunkered down for, a couple 6 months or something to really grind and get some foundational work done. And then ended up getting banned from the Schengen zone. I overstayed my visa, so they kicked me out of Europe, out of Estonia. So I was forced just to go, just to live. So I went to Malaysia, and then because at the beginning we shot everything we could with Vishen, and I was redoing a lot of their old VSLs or their old master classes, these big webinars they had. So remodeling them to see if we could work without having to do shoots. And then now we're shooting just with the authors. And after this trip, I became good friends with all the authors because it was a big MindValley author meetup. And I happen to be mobile, and I happen to be looking for a place to live constantly. So I keep asking them, I'm going to go sleep at your house. I'm going to shoot a VSL. And then after the success of our previous campaigns, it's just been, they all want one now. They all want me to stay with them, and they all want one. So I'm literally flying. I'm flying on Monday to London to shoot with a world-class hypnotherapist called Paul McKenna. Wow. On a masterful VSL on stress relief and PTSD trauma relief. Interesting niches. Wow. And then I have another shoot with Jim Quick in New York. So it literally is bouncing back and forth. And we just scheduled another trip in Tanzania, East Africa.
Wow.
To shoot with like this village and this tribe where Eric learned some of this. Anyway, so all these authors have all these stories and they're all over the world. And I got to go shoot this shit, you know, and make world-class VSLs. Someone's got to do it.
Wow. Hard life, man. No, I mean, that is amazing. That's amazing. I mean, like I just from, you know, gathering some info on you're pretty vocal about your sort of philosophy around all this, like making it happen and the ups and downs that you've taken to get here. Yeah, I mean, it's actually, I'd love to, can you walk us through some of the lowest points and the highest points and kind of how you made that transition?
Yeah, man. Chapters of a book have low and high. You know, if you're on a low, then something amazing is about to happen to you. And if you're on a high, then something amazing is about to happen to you again. You know, you're just rocking and rolling. But, you know, it depends how people's mindset is structured. I think you don't have to go through some serious ups and downs after you've made it. The first grind, you have to grind. But once you've made it, with wisdom, you can sustain it. I'm still working on acquiring more wisdom. So I've had many, you know, I've been a millionaire twice and lost it twice already. So, hey, we're cracking it. But yeah, some of my lowest points, I mean, immediately, right? For me, it was a 4-year grind, right? For me, it was when I would turn 21, I hit, you know, my girlfriend left me for some other dude. I had to move back into my parents' house and they moved away to the middle of fucking woods, in the middle of nowhere. And I would see one person a week who wasn't my parents, who wasn't doing heavy drugs, right? And I couldn't get a job there. I'd be stuck there forever. And I just sunk into this depression that went just beyond depressed and into just numbness. You know what I mean? Into just, there's no feeling. There's no emotional anything. And I would just sit in my bed, couldn't even get out of the bed and just waste away. But I just I knew that I just felt like my 20s were being crucified and being sacrificed. Like the early 20s, like the most important time of a young guy's life, like this once in a lifetime experience. You're only 21 one time, right?
Right.
Just gone to shit. Just got in the basement. No girls or anything. Car doesn't even work. Didn't go to college. Mm-hmm. I just got out of the army. I joined the fucking army because I thought it would be a good idea to go to college, and that was both the worst ideas ever. Mm-hmm. And man, I was just, it was just miserable. And then, but the thing was, what happened to me was my dad, they had a small website design business, really small, just like mom and pop website design company. But he was addicted to buying these how to get rich quick courses on the internet, right? For $7. He would buy a $7 program on how to get rich fast. And he would be like, he had a couple clients and he's like, yo, go through this program. And he'd make me go through these shitty Warrior Forum programs, this old place called the Warrior Forum. I went through hundreds of these. Wow. And I remember there was one program called, I know you asked for rock bottom moments, but this was a awakening for me. There's one program, it was like an MLM program, horrible program, but the sales page was so aggressive. It was so heavy that it just hit me so hard. It was like, do you feel like a loser? Are you living in your parents' basement? I'm like, yeah. Like, you wish you could drive Lambos and make money on a laptop and live in the Caribbean and be a multi-fucking millionaire and have a life of freedom and riding horses on the beach. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that.
Look at you now.
And then the way that they sold it, dude, I was like, that could be it. Yeah. That would make this worth it. If I had to sacrifice my early 20s, that would make it all worth it if I could have it happen by my later 20s, right? Mm-hmm. So I became obsessed with how do I become the young supercar guy? That was like my fucking thing. And then after 4 years, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 5 years basically, but mostly 4 years, 25 is when I changed it all. After 4 years, it was so shitty. And then I was like, fuck, I only have 3 years left. So it was such a deadline. Anyway, so that was some insanely low moments. And then I met some rock star internet marketing mentors who fucking blew my life up like a rocket. That was it.
Wow. But I mean, like all that training in the basement though must have played a part though, right?
Training in the basement, man. I found books. I realized I didn't need to go to college. There's a library called Amazon. and I could just Google top 10 best marketing books, and then I just business books, and I went down that rabbit hole. You know, so one funny thing about books is I read 12 copywriting books, right? I read so many marketing books, so many business books, but the stuff on the subconscious mind, the stuff on spirituality, that's the shit that actually changed my life. You know, wow. I read 200 books, and the last one I ever read before my life exploded was Conversations with God, like a super hard spiritual book. Then my life took the fuck off. Just the pivot happened, right? So I'm super into posting about spirituality, and I don't post much about marketing because the spirituality, I mean, the spy tools is what helped me with the marketing and the mentors. And then spirituality is how it all manifested to me. And I feel like it's just manifesting the life of your vision, right? Yeah. Anyway.
That's wild. I mean, it's crazy that that first sales letter literally is, I mean, I know you sold your cars, but you're literally sitting in the Caribbean right now and you're working from a laptop. Maybe you rode a horse this morning. I don't know. but that's crazy that
I saw horses walking on the beach. That's why.
Good enough. That's good enough, man. That's good enough. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. I mean, like, so that whole background is super interesting, and your ability to go deep and really be a scholar is crazy. And I think one of the first times I met you on like a group call with it was like a copy accelerator thing or something, and you shared your VSL Bible. Do you still have that? Is that is that a publicly available thing, or is that like what's the deal with that?
Yeah. So what happened with that is there was a lot of campaigns that were huge, right? 7-8 minute scripts, monster campaigns. Some of them got to like 200 grand a day in affiliate revenue, right? So no fucking expenses, just advertising. That's it. So there were so many of them. We just started putting them into a Word document, and then like the way that we break them down, John Benson taught me how to break these down in a specific way to make it replicatable and easily, so that, you know, if I got hit in the head with a rock, I could still wake up and like follow the flow, right? Hero's journey on how to do a VSL. So it's just out there, you know. I just drop it sometimes. I use it occasionally. Now I have like a little bit better of a system. Well, my VSLs got a lot longer. If you sell small e-com products, $39 to maybe $59, then the 7-minute VSLs work phenomenally.
Nice. Got it. What are some good 7-minute VSLs you're seeing right now out there floating around the internet?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't see much. I'm not focused on them. I've been focused on long 40-minute documentary style VSLs for the past, you know, I would say 2 years now, ever since. Yeah, the most.
Makes sense. I love how you frame that too, documentary style, because like that's what you're actually doing right now. You're going to Tanzania, you're going to this village, and you're getting that kind of footage with the author there. And I mean, that's just an amazing situation, amazing just bit of footage. Is that essential to actually that level of dedication? Okay. So what I use
cinematic mode on my iPhone. You can't even, your background's like blurry, right? Yeah. But the vibe in the air. I mean, I didn't have any of that stuff. I've been campaigns, you have nothing of that stuff. You don't need any of that stuff. We're just at like Discovery Channel level of like fucking wanting to shoot shit. And we just know so much. So I'm able to shoot one monster rock solid VSL, and then I'm able to shoot 50 leads in 50 leads in 2 days. And have that be like because I know what angles I want to do, like go this way, that way, boom, all these different ideas. Then we could just go down the list. And then we are ready to go for a while.
Got it. Well, that's wild. 50 leads. Yeah. I'm just curious. Is that just, those are things that just come to you spontaneously from all the stuff you've done up to this point? Or do you have any kind of sort of checklist or system for making sure you come up with leads that cover the whole spectrum, or what is it?
Yeah, I have like a lead Bible.
Nice.
Well,
amazing.
Right? So same story. I just see a bunch of fucking great introductions. You just go on the ad spy tools and you can make your own. And I would recommend people make their own because you want to learn this stuff. That is, people ask me, what books do you read?
Yeah.
I don't read books on this stuff. I read spy tools. I'm on spy tools. I read the winning scripts The winning script is the book.
Yep.
It shows you the answer. It doesn't tell you the answer. It does tell you the answer, but you have to extract, why did they use this why did they use that? Why is this winning? Right? That's why is it winning? And then you learn as you go from there. Anyway, you just go through, what I did was I just went on Fight Tools and I went through all of the biggest VSLs and I just wrote down the first 60 seconds, the first lead, and then I see what they all have in common. And then, I did that maybe 3 years ago, right? So I've been doing that. And then I've seen a ton since then. Like one of our campaigns, that 80-20 rule, it doesn't even exist with leads. It's like 90-10.
Wow.
Like we would test 100 leads, 100 different leads over the course of months, right? Yeah. 3 of them would do 90% of the sales, right? Because they would be the best. So it's like, what does that have in common? What do these have in common? Dig into these ones. And then the next ones you can make are more focused and optimized.
Do you ever, going in with 100 leads, do you ever have a feeling of, okay, I would place my bets on this one? Do you ever get that feeling, or do you ever, like, if you have that feeling, do you ever feel surprised when you see the results?
Yeah. I shoot so many. I shoot so many that I'm just, that one was probably a fucking banger. You get like a vibe after you do it for so long, and then it takes a while for you to break in your, hey, this is never going to work radar. Like I remember we were looking for leads on a dark spot product that we had, and we have a idea generation process. And one of the things to do is you go on YouTube, you type in dark spots, in our case, the problem you want to solve. You go, what's the biggest viewed video in the world on dark spots? And then the thumbnails all there have fucking secret answers in there. Right. And one of the thumbnails we saw was a potato. There was literally a potato. Apparently some Indian people were putting potatoes on their skin. So we clicked it. We're like, oh, let's do a potato lead. So we had this lady shoot an introduction like, this is a potato, right? So they laughed when I fucking started putting this on, but the results were ever. Anyway, that crushed it. That beat so many different leads. Professional ones didn't work at all. A lot of the handheld stuff works great. So we never thought that was going to work, but it ended up banging, and it's weird,
That's wild. You're finding spy tools, pulling them out of the thin air. That's crazy. What do you like when you're starting from, you have let's say you have a new author you're working with, and you're starting from scratch. Like what's besides, or actually walk us through, what do you do? Like what's your first step? What are you looking at? Like what kind of research are you doing? Just curious about the whole process.
So I just optimized my process. I'll tell you what I was doing before. Before I was like, okay, let me just do all the research. So I have all the pieces that I need for a VSL. So I just start going through, finding the author's story, like finding what's the laser in 80-20 problem, not like fucking 10 problems. Like, is it back pain? You don't need a list of problems. You just need one. What's the laser targeted fucking thing I'm going to solve? The one big problem. And then what's a bunch of secondary problems that come up because of that problem? And then what's the emotional pain of that? I have a VSL talk on my YouTube channel, just Peter Kell Dubai Masterclass. You can see I break this thing down on how I do this. And I answer all these fundamental questions that we need, like all the pieces of the pie to put together. What's the author's story? What's the wildest success story they've ever had? And then I have all these pieces, and after a while, and the big idea, how could I forget the big idea, the most important thing? What's the unique mechanism? What's the light in the tunnel, the big idea? And then what's the big idea way to solve that? What's the root problem? What's the solution of the root problem? And then like simplifying that message so that a 4th grader could understand it. Because a lot of times there's a lot of shit going on. So if I were to simplify this, it would be, they have a problem. It makes them feel bad. We figured out the root cause of your problem. Here's the solution. It'll make you feel amazing, and you'll have an amazing life, right? This like transition, that's basically a sales pitch in general. And the feeling is the fucking real, that's what makes them emotionally want to move. The physical problems is what everyone thinks is the problem, but it's actually, the problem is you fucking feel bad about it. You're embarrassed, you're humiliated. Most people aren't aware that that's what's going on. And then the root cause of the problem is the vehicle, and that makes it make sense. So like, I simplify it down in a simple 4th grade. Like I imagine a 4-year-old is standing me and I have to explain, so you have back pain because your spine is compressed. If you hang upside down, it'll be uncompressed. you won't have back pain and you'll be able to play again. You'll feel good. Okay, like it makes sense, right? To get that is hard. That takes simplifying things is hard. But if anyone's ever failed an English class, then you'll be great at this because for me, I'm like, I don't understand. It needs to be simple. Kindergarten level, simple secret, you know?
Nice. We'll definitely put that link to that video. That's a great video. Everyone should definitely check that out.
So that was what I used to do, right?
Yeah.
Now I still do that relatively. But the mistake that I found myself making, even after all these years, is that I would mess up on the unique mechanism. I would mess up on the problem because there's so many different ways you feel like it could work, but it doesn't actually work like that because I wasn't talking to the authors. So ever since I started pivoting to like getting that research done and then interviewing the author and being like, explain to me, what's the root cause of their problem? Like I'm a 4-year-old. And then they tell it to me in their own words. And then I can have the pieces from the author's mouth.
Wow.
And I asked a lot of these questions from the author's mouth. And by the way, here's a weird secret I learned. If they're world-class authors, they know their shit, right? You don't act like they were really, really, really honed in. Lead shooting isn't like, I don't use teleprompters with lead shooting because they know their stuff. I just go topic, boom, 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 these points in this order, and they can crush it because they're really talented. Unlike in the past, they don't know anything. You need to do every single word for that, right? It's not like this for MindValley authors. They know what the fuck they're talking about.
That's wild.
Interesting. So that's my process now. And then so I have all these pieces of the puzzle, and then I have formulas, right? Which is what the VSL Bible is a bunch of VSL formulas, like sales formulas, like start with the nightmare story. Then this thing happened, and then it made them feel bad. And then a big authority figure wanted to help. So it made this product, tested it out. It worked amazing. And there's not enough left. So you better go buy it now, right? That kind of shit. So some of them are like reluctant hero stories where the guy didn't want to make this, but he was forced to make it because people wanted to make it. Other one is like a hero's fall from grace story where like a dermatologist, he's like this queen and then she starts getting old. So she starts feeling bad, you know? So it's like these different frameworks. And by studying big VSLs, like I put so much work into just taking a 60-minute VSL, transcribing it on rev.com and just sitting there breaking down what's this chapter about, what's that chapter about, what's this chapter about. That way I can reverse engineer the formula and then I go, okay, this would kind of work. So I have a few big formulas in my back pocket and I plug my pieces of the puzzle into this. And then you make a rock solid VSL. The cool thing about VSLs is you don't need the best VSL. You just need a rock solid VSL because then you just do a bunch of leads, right? You keep the leads up and down.
Absolutely. That's wild. That's amazing. Thanks for sharing that. At what point do you start thinking about compliance? Is it something where you kind of don't even think about it at first and then you kind of rein it in, or just curious how you think about compliance?
Right. So two different levels. I mean, there's 3 different levels of compliance. One of them is if you're doing e-commerce, you have serious levels of Facebook ad compliance and platform compliance. So you gotta learn the invisible tricks that nobody can tell you on how to be compliant on Facebook. Like, don't say the word you. Actually does something. Don't focus in too much on the problem. Don't call people out. Basically, what Facebook wants is, even though they're spying on everybody and they know everything about you, they don't want you to reveal that in your ads. Like if I say, are you overweight? How did you know I was overweight? Are you tracking me? Facebook? That's what Facebook doesn't want. So whenever you say, are you this? You're revealing that you've been spying on them. Facebook's been spying on them, and that's what they stop it. That's what Facebook says. Stop it. So when you don't do that, you don't get banned. It's weird. Anyway.
Interesting.
And then you have digital products. Different story, right? Digital products almost have no rules on Facebook ad compliance. Like literally, I've seen very little rules for this. I'm getting into the diet space, so I'm going to learn more about that. But honestly, I mean, Facebook really lifted the lever lately. I'm seeing so many before and after videos on my Instagram, this, that. A few guys have figured out that I think Facebook just lifted the fucking ban on before and afters. Didn't tell anybody. So that looks like it's popping. And then you have FTC compliance. So if you're messing around with certain things like big niches, right? Supplements, yeah, you got to have a lawyer or a FTC attorney eyeball your stuff, and then you get the basics down. for that. Yeah. So if I see that, like, oh, this is it. Like we just did type 2 diabetes, had to have a lawyer go through that.
Yeah.
Had to go, yeah. They're not going to give any advice here. You got to go discover your own advice from an attorney.
Yeah, exactly. This is not legal advice. So you basically had the lawyer look at it after the fact, but obviously you came into it with the understanding of sort of what could and couldn't be said. I'm just curious, like, did you just go whole hog on selling super hard, agitation, et cetera? Or did you kind of start with the end goal of having a massively scalable, compliant VSL?
Well, semantics can change most things. So changing the words a little bit, right? The difference between you will lose weight or this can help you lose weight is everything, right? Little things. So you can say a lot of claims in different ways to make it compliant, just with flexibility through what you're saying, right? And both legally and both compliantly on the Facebook platforms. Like I thought taking out the word "you" was going to ruin my campaign, but instead of saying, do you struggle with wrinkles? Some women over 40 struggle with wrinkles, and then still worked amazing. So like, who the fuck knows? Everyone was like, copywriting, the word "you" is the most powerful word. I'm like, or I took it out and it still crushes. So everything I learned is fucking wrong, right? That's how I feel about copywriting. I don't even know. I literally stopped trying to like put reasons behind why things work. I'm just like, I don't care. It's a proven, I got it from this monster campaign. That's all I fucking care about. It's crushed in the past.
Got it. What would you say in terms of monster campaigns now versus say 2-3 years ago? What do you see? Any trends? What's working now that didn't exist? Things that worked before that don't work now, et cetera. How have things changed on that front?
So definitely, I'm well known for the slideshow VSLs. I think we were media buyers and we pivoted to e-com, and then we figured out that if we turned our advertorial into a slideshow video, it would crush. I never saw anybody doing it back then. This was 4 years ago, and then all of a sudden, a ton of people were doing it. So I was well known for that sort of method, and I did that for 3 years. That's all I would do is just make slideshow VSLs because I didn't need a budget. And I tried making some really cool ones lately and did not work at all. Yeah, it sucked. So I think I don't want to do that model anymore, personally. Other trends. If you've been struggling with your advertising lately and CPMs have been high, I think that's going to change. I think that we just got through a winter season of advertising and we're now going to move into a nice, amazing spring. Shit's picked up on our side, that's for sure. Shit has picked up. And I think it's because money's going to get harder for people to get. I think that since they were printing so much money, they were handing out so much money, and these tech companies wanted to just grow, just show growth in the board, and they just drop it on the ad platforms. That makes it really expensive. It's going to be harder for them to get money, and I don't think they're going to be able to spend as much. And I think that's going to make the DR guys really thrive in this upcoming wave that's happening. So I'm really excited about the next 6 months.
Yeah, it's interesting bringing that up. I was looking at, I think it was like ClickUp, some kind of quarterly report on there, and it was ClickUp Monday, I think. And as you know, huge YouTube advertisers, and their spend was down considerably during 2022. I mean, their series funding is like, drying up a bit.
I think that's exactly it. I think that's our opportunity. Yeah,
that's wild.
So let me think. Other trends. A lot of people are saying that there's that long form feed that came out on YouTube ads. Doesn't beat running straight VSL still. For sure. More profitable running a straight VSL, at least that I've seen. Our biggest stuff in the landing page.
It's funny because we put that email out, and because we got that from one of our reps, we put that out, and then all of a sudden people are posting like, "Oh, check this out," blah blah blah.
It's true. It's a serious fee. Like some of our stuff is 4 times more expensive. But it's still winning. It
still works. Exactly. Like conversion rates are so high off of those, $8 clicks or whatever off of those VSLs that it's totally worth it. And they said too, it's like, it's not a hard and fast rule. Actually, it's not like, generally speaking, all things being equal, you're taking up more time in that in-stream placement. YouTube's could be making money, right? It's an opportunity cost for them.
YouTube is such a weird, challenging platform, dude. such a challenging platform. I mean, they got secrets all over the place on that thing. It's like new accounts have this like hazing, the haze you have to go through for a new account where they just overcharge you on CPMs to see if you can like, what kind of media buyers they like literally fuck with you just to see if you're good. And then you have to go through hell for 3 weeks to get something to work, maybe even a month, when it's just losing. And then all of a sudden winning. But dude, you get new account fee. Like you don't even know. There's all these weird little fucking things on the YouTube. So challenging platform, but worth it. Amazing.
For sure. 100%. Yeah. I was reading the article you wrote about your conversation with the CMO from Proactive.
Yeah.
And
Proactive. Yeah.
What's that?
He was the president of Proactive.
President of Proactive. Got it. Okay. Got it. Guthrie Rinker. That's right. Guthrie Rinker, CMO. And one quote jumped out, and it made me think of it because you're talking about YouTube. At a certain point, he said, "Just upload the video, hit broad, and send it like a Chad."
I mean, yeah. Yep. Yeah. So that's been my model for a long time.
Yep.
A long time.
Yeah.
I mean, the biggest mistake media buyers can make is fucking hitting all those stupid buttons, is not making creatives.
Yeah.
Right. That's the biggest mistake. They don't want to make the creative, so they just dick around with all the fucking buttons inside that platform when it's the creative, stupid, right?
Yeah.
I want this thing to scale, right? Which means 40 plus broad. If it doesn't work, go back to the creative. I mean, that kind of simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
And the crazy thing is, it is so simplicity. It is so simple. I remember my first meeting with my Facebook ad mentors. I was so excited. Because I had read so many books on Facebook for years. I wished I knew the secret to monster Facebook campaigns. And I flew to his house in LA, and we were going to sit down. We were going to launch a campaign, and he was going to help look over the shoulder. And I was so excited to see I was about to discover the secret. And I go, all right, here we go. It's the big day. I'm finally going to see how a fucking monster guy makes his campaigns. It's probably fucking all these buttons everywhere. Like, he's like, all right, 40 plus. That's it. To the pixel. All right. On to the next thing. I'm like, what?
That's it? Yeah.
Like, dude, where's the fucking, where is it?
Right.
He's like, dude, just hit 40 plus. There you go. Like the amount of time I've spent just looking at all the buttons.
Yeah.
I needed to hit all of them. That's the most deceiving thing ever, is simplicity in general, because it's so simple, people overlook it. And that was my media buying since then. It was this realization that, dude, you want this to work at monster levels. The pixel's smart as fuck. It knows everything about everybody. It doesn't even matter what your audience size is, because it's still going to target where it wants to target in the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So just make better videos. Just increase your cost per 3-second view, increase your average watch time, drop the CPA to target CPA, and there you go.
Yeah, I mean, so we sent out an email before this podcast, and a lot of people are super excited that we're gonna get to hear from you. And I mean, one person is Chris. Christopher Sutton. He's got a really cool business in the UK.
I've heard his name.
Yeah, he's got this amazing ear training for musicians. Christopher, great question. He was curious about the energetic and emotional side of being a successful marketer. So I remember it was Affiliate World Dubai. I think you beamed in to do your presentation, right? You were on the screen, I remember, and people were saying people were actually in person. There's some amazing presentations. And I think you were on the Zoom, and everyone was like, holy shit, this guy's energy was out of control. This was this was amazing. And this was in the midst of some amazing presentations. I was there in person. I saw several of them. They're awesome. But yeah, yours is on another level. How do you, going from the basement to where you're at now, how have you managed to manage your energetic, emotional side of things? And how do you work with that just on a sort of practical level?
Yeah. Okay. So are we talking about, what are we talking about? Are we talking about emotions? Like how do we keep the positive emotion type thing?
Yeah. I mean, like, yeah, energy and emotion. Like how do you work as just on a, moment by moment level? Like, how are you working with the ups and downs of the day and like aspirations for the future and making shit happen? How is it all like, what's your internal process like around all this stuff?
Right. So I have a pre-game thing that I do before I talk. And it's basically a prayer. I have a prayer that I've a pre-written prayer to the universe, like that fucking puts me in the state that I need to deliver a message. So it's not like I walk around like that 24/7. But before I do a talk, I read this and I'm fucking lit, and then I can just spit fire. It's amazing every time. So I go through that. I do that same thing in the morning. So I have a morning routine. I believe in God first, universe first. So I have a prayer. I don't think about what to say. I just go through this kind of prayer, and it's something around like, hey, I know you're here. I know you put me here to do something amazing. I have this amazing opportunity. Thank you for guiding me. All these kind of things. And I read this. It's like my why. I almost read off my why in prayer format, and that helps put things in perspective and tune my brain in the right sort of phase. Another one is I'm just super. It's not like I don't get down. If we're talking about like emotions, ups and downs, everybody gets down. I definitely get down. The difference is how long you stay there. That's kind of the key kind of situation. And I'm a huge believer in the law of attraction. I don't even believe in it, bro. That shit is real as this table is real. It is absolutely real. Invisible forces, just like gravity behind the scenes that are affecting you in ways you may not even realize. And I believe, without a doubt, that whatever I feel, the universe sends to me, right? I'm a magnet. My emotions are the magnet. And if I want to attract an amazing thing into my life, I have to feel amazing now. I have to find a way to feel amazing now by focusing on the amazing things in my life, focusing on the things that I love, and focusing on the things I'm excited about in the future. Right? Going through that process, like, what am I excited about? And a lot of people say, I just talked to a guy who said, I'm not excited about anything. And he really doesn't have any sweet goals. He didn't have any dope goals that were exciting to him. I like the double your high score goal. My mission has always been double your high score. What's the most amount of money you've ever made in a month? How do you double that? That's a fucking exciting goal. It's adventurous. It's fun. It's a crazy mountain to climb. And it's got crazy even benefits at the end of it. Ways you can contribute in many ways. And it's different. You got to usually do something new to double what you've been doing. So you got to go down a fascinating rabbit hole. So I believe on the flip side, if I feel negative and I start complaining, I feel like I'm going to attract that, and I don't want to attract it. So a lot of times when something bad happens, or like if I'm in a weird state, I'm aware it's okay to be in a weird state. It's fine. But like, I know that like, it's not like something's going to fly at me immediately the second that I'm there. But if you stay there for a long time, then you have to change it. You have to find a way to like get back in that amazing state, because you will attract. It's so weird. Like, you have to get there first to get it to come to you. Anyway, yeah. And there's more things, right? So there's more things. One, I'm just so used to going through the lows that I'm able to see that something amazing is about to happen. Still, I'm able to tell that, like, I've been through so many super low spots where things have just been dead for like 7 months. You know what I mean? And still vibing. I mean, there's a great blog story I wrote on my blog called it was called the Magic Words That Bring Riches.
Nice.
Did I tell that story?
No.
Bro.
Oh, should you tell it, or have you? No, you haven't told it. Please, yes, please do.
Bro, yeah. Check this out. So I love journaling. I journal all the time, almost every night. 200 entries a year in my journals, just catching up. What's going on with my life? What am I doing? Blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And a long time ago, one of my mentors was like, hey, if you want to make more money, just track how much money you make every single day. I'm like, okay, that sounds like some Tim Ferriss shit. Let's do it. Yeah. Right. So for 4 years, every day for 4 years, I tracked my affiliate marketing campaigns, revenue and profit on my affiliate campaign. I had this big ass graph after 4 years. And it literally, this graph is my life as an entrepreneur. It's just my ups and my downs. And it's the roller coaster of being an affiliate. Right. Yeah. And I was going through this low point. It'd been 4 months where I fucking hadn't had anything. But more importantly, I lost like this fire that I had, this like drive and like this, like I had just gone down and just felt like sluggish, and my laundry was piled up in my corner of my house. I just fucking couldn't get myself to do anything. And I was smoking weed one day, and I was looking at this graph, and I'm like, man, what the fuck? And I'm looking at this graph, and it's just been flat for a while. I'm like, dude, I have been here before. I've been here before, because there was like 3 other flat moments just like this on my graph. You can see this. Like there was fucking 3 months here, it died, and then a banger campaign popped, and it was amazing for 4 months. And life just took off like a rocket, and it was fucking euphoric and amazing, and things just rode up, and I bought a supercar, and it was phenomenal. And then it died again, and it was sucked. And then it blew up again over here for 3 months, and then it died again for 4 months. And then it blew up again. I'm like, this has happened to me so many times. I wish I could just go back to the week before, because it was flat for 4 months, and then it exploded out of nowhere. Like we just cracked something and it blew up. It's like, I wish I just go back to the week before it exploded and figure out what I was thinking about, because I would love to apply that to me right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, my journals. I've been journaling this entire time.
Wow.
I can go back to the week before. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
It was so sick. So I go back to the week before, all 3 times, like the 2 weeks before this, before all these 3 moments, and I fucking found the coolest thing ever, dude. It was the coolest thing ever. Every single time, right before life was about to take off, in my journals, there was this feeling like something amazing was about to happen. It's like, I don't care how flat it's been. I don't care how bad it's been. The winds, there's fucking wind in the air. You know, the wake behind the boat does not drive the boat.
Right.
It doesn't matter what's happened behind me. Something's fucking, I turn in the wheel right here. Something happened. Something's going on. Like literally the words, something amazing is about to happen, was like bolded and highlighted in one of them. And I was like, holy shit, let me think about this. It seems to me like the more I start to feel like the universe is about to send me something amazing, like something amazing is about to happen to me, amazing shit happens to me. Like that's what the graph is telling me. If I think something amazing is about to happen and I believe it and I feel it and it's true to me, then the universe sends it to me. It's weird. So I'm like, I'm going to put this thing to the test, right? So I print out this sign and I hang it in my shower. So every day I see something amazing about to happen. I hang it in my living room. I put it on a notepad. I put it on a t-shirt, and I make it the sub logo to my amazing about to happen. So everywhere I go, I see this message that something amazing about to happen. And dude, I went on the fucking biggest win streak of my life. It was 12 months of the biggest days ever in a row. It was monster. It was a monster campaign. And then I go on to sell this brand, to sell the company. And it's like, I reached this fucking high that was so high and felt so euphoric and felt so freeing when I was on my own that I was like, I'm gonna go travel around the world. I'm fucking out of here. I'm out of here. So I put everything in a storage unit. I take down my picture out of my shower. And by now I was like devoted to this phrase. I was like, that's how it works. That's how it works. I'm going to remember this forever. When I focus that something amazing is about to happen to me and I feel it inside, the universe sends it to me. And it wasn't just business things that happened to me. It was like, you know how some people are cursed with bad luck and just they're unlucky and just like the voodoo witch doctor just fucking wooed them? This is the opposite, bro. The exact opposite. Like good things, amazing things happen to you from fucking all different angles and all different categories of your life. It's like, it's just like a magnet. And I'm taking this sign down and I'm like, dude, I love this phrase. I love this. I love this. I'm like devoted to this now. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to bring this phrase with me on my travel. So I tattooed it on my arm right here.
There you go.
Yeah, it's about to happen. Something amazing. It stands for something amazing about to happen.
Yep.
So it's like, it's stuck with me forever now. Anyway.
That's amazing.
Weird. Crazy story.
That is wild. And I love how you kind of discovered it after the fact. You had already been doing it, but you didn't know it, didn't retain it. And then boom, 4th time around, there you go, tattooed on your arm.
The pattern, bro. You see the pattern.
That is wild. That's crazy that you're tracking your income and you have this like quantitative data and you have the qualitative data of the journals at the same time. And you like triangulate that. That is
What was the
wild.
mindset that blew it up? Anyway, I
Yeah.
wrote an article. There's more things in it, more affirmations, but
Yeah.
that was the biggest thing,
Yeah.
So you can check it on my website, peterkell.com.
Yeah, Peter Kell. I have to say, you have some solid articles there, and that article about the celebrities was super interesting too. How it kind of pushed you over the edge.
Speaking of celebrities.
Yeah.
Celebrities. I met a guy over this in Israel. I was just hanging out with him. He's like, I'm a kite surf instructor. I'm like, okay, that's cool. And the guy's not a kite surf instructor. He owns many hotels that happen to have kite surfing schools.
Yep.
More importantly, is he owns this monster refi lead generation company, $300 million a year in revenue and sales.
Wow.
Monster. They do TV and radio with celebrities. They had Peyton Manning as one of their celebrities. He showed me one of their ads, lead generation ad, refi. Yep. It's like what everybody's doing, refi. Yeah. Except they're doing TV and radio, professional, Peyton Manning, and the guy's hitting $1 million a day. No social. Completely automated business.
Wow.
Social at all.
TV and radio.
Mm-hmm.
Have you, what would you do?
That's where my brain's been at lately, thinking about this. Yeah. Yeah,
that's super crazy. Brad's actually working on something cool right now. He's building this it's called a media mix modeling. So basically you can go back in time and see how putting a billboard up somewhere actually affects your sales, like that sort of stuff. It's like old school tech, but it's going to be, it's really cool. We got these two, astrophysicist and a physicist working on it. And it's pretty bad. Yeah, exactly. Serious brain power. But yeah, man, it's crazy. Going back in time, TV is still massive. It's not like
the old demo's still there, dude. They didn't go on Netflix.
That is so wild. Do you think there's much crossover between digital and TV, or is it kind of somewhat of a blue ocean, TV by itself, would you say?
What's never been done before is running leads on TV, scan the QR code to watch the full video on your phone. I've never seen that.
Damn.
I want to test that shit out. Text this number to get the fucking full documentary.
Yeah. Oh, that's wild. And what was that one, that Super Bowl ad that had the QR codes everywhere? You ever see that one?
I think I saw something about it where it was they just had a QR. That's all they did. So like a simple ad.
It was just a bunch of colorful QR codes, and I think it was for some crypto website or something. I can't remember what exactly, but it literally broke their website, the traffic spike. So it clearly worked. So people are, they're using that. They're scanning stuff.
I mean, they go there. I mean, people can scan now. I feel confident about people's scanning abilities.
Yeah, absolutely. It opens up so many opportunities too. Because there's still massive. You mentioned the refi space. There's crazy amounts of e-commerce still taking place on TV, and just TV specific brands haven't really cracked digital. That's a huge opportunity for sure.
Yeah, it is hard. Anyway, it's not top of line. I still got, there's no point of looking at that stuff until you're doing hundreds of grand a day with your
absolutely. Yeah, no, for sure. That's wild. Going back in time, getting into, can we talk about the brand name, the skincare brand name? Is it cool to say it? No. Okay. Okay. Got it. Okay. Maybe we don't want to. I
told him I'd keep it chill. I told him I wouldn't blow their stuff up. Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Cool. Yeah. All good.
But you can name it something else. You can just call it whatever, call it.
Okay.
Cinderella Land or
something. That's wild. Well,
we can talk about the brand now. We can talk about its stories there.
Okay, we can. Okay, cool. Because I was going to ask you that, how, because you mentioned this year, how long, 0 to X multiple million, tens of millions.
40, 12 months.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So how did you even get into that in the first place? Did you start with this idea? Did you partner with people? What made you want to go into that space?
Okay, so what made me want to go into skincare? Well, after being as affiliate for a long time, you learn about a lot of the biggest niches that are running, and skincare is consistently one of the biggest ones. And skincare also has, it's one of the best products because a lot of supplements, they don't work. Skincare, you can actually make really good products that work really well, that people love, that actually do good damage or good, solve good problems. And people run out of them after 30 days. So unlike pillows, where you buy a pillow and you're stuck with it for I don't know how many years, people buy this over and over again. So it's a great niche, great niche. And we were testing I tested so many campaigns, and we cracked this one for a skincare. We cracked the skincare campaign, and we turned it into a brand. That was kind of it. Yeah, I just had been an affiliate for so long. I was sick and tired of testing all the e-com products on the land. And I knew the next level is what you do is you turn it into a legit brand. So you can finally experience what no affiliate has ever experienced before when a customer buys again on the run. This people completely forget that people buy again when you're an affiliate. At least I did.
That's wild. So you basically started by testing the marketing for other people's products as an affiliate. Once you cracked it, you're like, we're doing this ourselves, making an amazing product. Scale to the moon.
That's the core of it. I mean, the skill set, the difference between us and all the other skincare brands was world-class media buying, right? Yeah. VSLs. It was the VSLs, because there's all these skincare brands. They all have great products. They all have media buyers. The problem is when they put in $10,000, they get back $2,000, right? Because they don't know how to market. We put in $10,000, we get back $20,000, right? We put in 80 grand a day, we get back 140 grand a day.
Yeah. Because
of one video.
Yeah.
Power of the video. That's why I committed my life to the video.
Yeah.
That's all I do.
Yep. I mean, where do you see on, Peter Kell as a marketer 5 years from now? Like what sort of trends, developments, aspirations do you have around all that, taking those skills?
Yeah, so I see, the second that something beats VSLs, I'm out of VSLs. Couldn't care less. I just do what I think is the biggest I could possibly do. And the thing with VSLs is there's foundational principles there. It's just influence 101. It's the idea is always going to be, I have a product, I got to sell it, right? It's always, how do you sell a product? That's never going to change. You're going to always have to sell a product. How do you sell a product? You have to influence people. That's never going to change. You have to inspire them to solve their problems today. That's never going to change. That is never going to change. Always the same thing. Okay, how do you inspire someone to solve their problems? Robert Cialdini's Influence 101. You need an authority figure, somebody likable. You need social proof. You need scarcity, and you need a problem that people want to solve. And whatever you can't use reciprocity, but that's what you need. Those are never going to change. Those are like human nature stuff, 101. So the direction that I liked going was making it better. So to me, the biggest opportunities in the space is like, there's so many authors out there who don't know how to make VSLs, but they put their life into coming up with this big idea and have this amazing story, which is why they wrote a book. So I don't know how the lower stuff converts, but all I focus is on the high level stuff. It's going to be the same forever. For a long time, I need to get an authority figure who knows a lot about a subject and can help push the needle on it. To me, there's no such thing as competition. Competition literally doesn't exist. There is zero competition because it has nothing to do with what anybody else is doing. Here's this person, they want to solve the problem. Do they think that you can help solve your problem? Like that's what your ad is. They see your ad. Do they think you can solve the problem? Do they think they should do it right now? No, nobody else exists in that conversation, right? It's just you and them. That's it. Right. Competition doesn't exist. Like market sophistication levels are a thing. So like with this diet campaign that we literally just shot 2 days ago, I was just shooting leads outside this morning on my phone setup. We had to lead with a lot of the big ideas, the big unique mechanism that was new and fresh and entertaining and stuff like that. So we had to lead a lot with how people were going to lose weight and why they failed things before, those kind of big ideas to lead with it. So the ideas are what change. The ideas that you're going to lead your products with, but these niches are never going to die. In fact, people are getting more and more unhealthy in America. So it's
more people to help. Absolutely. Peter, first of all, awesome to chat. Thank you so much. And really excited that you're going to be joining us and presenting at VidTao Live. So pumped about that. Chris Haddad also was really excited.
Yeah. Thanks for putting that together. This is going to be fun.
We've been excited about this for months, and so pumped to have you on board, and people are really excited to hear what you're going to say. And it's going to be great. So thank you. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. One last thing. I had this thing happen that it reminded me. I'd love to put it out here. I was watching this video. It was Mr. Beast's new Willy Wonka video. And there's this competition, and there's this guy who's really out of shape, and they have to climb up this rock wall. And he's at the very top of the wall, climbed all the way up to the top of the wall, he's about to crawl over. All his friends are like, you got it, you got this. And then at the very top, he's just like, I can't. And then he falls off the wall and he just loses. And I fucking related with this guy so much, because I had so many times in my career gone all the way to the finish line and just fucked it up right at the end. So many times. I did that so many times that I realized this was a pattern in my life. And this video reminded me of the mission I had to go through to fix this and figure out what was going on. So after I got evicted and had to move back into my parents' basement in the middle of nowhere in the woods, I spent 3 months studying all the books on the subconscious mind and mostly in your identity and those kind of books. And I fucking learned such valuable stuff, dude. It was such valuable things. The biggest one was that, like, Psycho-Cybernetics is a great book. If anyone's struggling with the Psycho-Cybernetics, Think and Grow Rich for the money. If you have money, think and grow rich. Sorry. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. That's the one. Psycho-Cybernetics, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, the Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Those are kind of the three big heavy hitters in the space. And what I learned was, I thought that I was a struggling entrepreneur. I thought I was, the starving artist or whatever. And my subconscious would be like, yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. So when I had an opportunity to close a sale and become a successful entrepreneur, my subconscious was like, that's not you, dude. You're a struggling entrepreneur. Fuck it up. It put a glass ceiling in front of me. If you ever hit a glass ceiling, a glass wall, that's your subconscious. That's the limits of your identity, of who you are as a person. And your subconscious reels you back into your core of who you are as a person, who you believe you are. So I had to learn all those things and make that kind of transformation. And what I did when I started learning this, how important your identity is, who you believe you are, and how affirmations can help rewire your subconscious mind and rewire your identities, I started writing down, I'm the greatest fucking marketer of all time. I'm the greatest marketer of all time. I'm a fucking gangster. My campaigns do this much. And I started putting that in my subconscious mind. And that's why visualization is so important, because you visualize yourself as this person, and your whole bubble moves. And all of a sudden you're outside of the bubble. Instead of you going outside of the bubble and then your brain pulling you back to where you are, you move the bubble, and then now you're outside and your brain pulls you into the bubble. So now it's like being pulled towards gold instead of you pushing out. And it's all about changing who you are at the center. Phenomenal shit. And there was one sentence, 3 months summed it up in one sentence. Action is the bridge between your inner world and your outer world, by T. Harv Eker. That was it. And it was like, I could take all the action I could ever want. I could hit the gas as hard as I fucking could, but that will never get me to where I want to be if my brain isn't fucking wired. It only takes what's on the inside and it puts it what's on the outside. If you want to change the fruits, you got to change the roots. You know what I mean? That kind of shit. It's a reflection. Your brain is just a reflection, and your identity is the key to it all. So if you want to make world-class results, you got to call yourself a world-class person, and then hold on to that fucking vision. Say it every day. Yeah. And then your subconscious will be like, yeah, you are. And then start bringing you towards it.
Something amazing is about to happen.
Something amazing about to happen, bro. That shit is magical. I just did that with my authors. I was trying to figure out, how do I get them in a state where they just spit fire? Because you just meet up with somebody and you put a camera in their face and they freeze. Even the greatest people do this.
Yeah.
But how do I get them in a state of this fire? What I found out is, if I talk about, bro, we're here at the beach, something amazing about to happen. I got fucking vibes here. If I can make them feel like something amazing about to happen, I attract a script from their brain, from the universe, that makes me feel like that was amazing. We did it. it's literally putting them in this state of expecting something amazing is about to happen is what gets them to spit fire. It's crazy. It transfers all over the place, dude. It transfers, that idea transfers everywhere.
That's awesome. I think people are gonna, I might see a few more of those tattoos floating around sometime soon.
I've already gotten one of them. Somebody sent me one of them. Red.
That's awesome.
He loves it. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Awesome, Peter. Man, thank you so much for the conversation and sharing everything with our audience, and all that you do. Everybody, please follow Peter on social media. He posts great stuff all the time, and your website's beastly, and love all your presentations at all these events as well. It's fantastic. So
thank you, Ian. Thanks for having me. Look forward to being on the show or being in the live talk.
Yeah, it's a real musty environment. You can smell the history there in Oxford. It'll be fun.
Stoked.
Awesome.
Really
Awesome, Peter. Have a great rest of your day in Dominican. Jump on that horse on the beach. Get out there.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Awesome.
Right.
Be in touch. See you, Peter. Bye-bye.